Hey, I am Heather Blaze. Welcome. Today we are talking about the six-figure plus morning routines that get results in record time. So I'm excited, as usual, to be talking about these things. If you're not hitting your six-figure plus goals at the moment, then you're going to want to hear about this and what it takes, the habits you need to create in the morning. If you want to get the results, then you might want to stick around and listen to this. But if you don't know who I am, I'm Heather Blaze, and I help entrepreneurs set up their business systems to have time and money freedom to do what they love to do. And if you're here with me, let me know you're here with me. Say hello. And if you're here live, you could put hashtag live. And if you're here watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay in the comments. So, six-figure plus morning routine that gets results in record time. So, the most important morning routine any service-based entrepreneur could possibly have is to wake up and get to work. There may be other elements involved other than, waking up and getting to work, and that's completely fine, but just don't go overboard there. And what I mean is don't have a checklist of 50 things to do to get you pumped up and ready just to end up tired and losing focus. Okay. At least have one or a couple of non-negotiables to get you switched on for the day as you begin working again on your goals. Okay. So for most people, the early mornings can be the most productive time since you're rested and there aren't too many distractions at that point of the day. Take advantage of the golden hours, whichever hours those are for you, whenever you've got the most energy to get some work done. The whole point of having a morning routine is to get you reconnected with your goals. For me, one non-negotiable is doing my gratitude and visualization time. This is when I go through the aspects of appreciation, the things I'm thankful for, those things that have been already accomplished, and all the other things that are already on the way, thanking them in advance for having them, even though I don't have them yet. And what that does is it helps me get into this winning mindset, which is so crucial because from that place of gratitude, everything else seems possible. And I know for a fact that we get more of what we focus on, whether it's positive or negative. I know for a fact that that's true. Whatever we're focused on, we get more of. Okay. If you're thinking about like, this is happening to me, this is happening to me, this is happening to me, why is this happening to me? You're going to get more of that. If you're thinking, oh, I'm so excited to get my new whatever, I'm so excited for this to happen, it's going to happen. So the truth of the matter is we all have routines. And so the only question is, do those routines make you feel good? Are those the routines that are going to get you closer to what you want? Do they get you to that great emotional state that allows you to have a happy and productive start to your day? Because when you're in this vibration, I don't know if you've ever heard of that vibrational scale. If you haven't heard of it, look it up, Google vibrational scale. And there's different emotions at the top of the scale versus the bottom of the scale. And when you hang out in those different emotions, right, there's an energy to it, there's a vibration to it. And whatever you put out, you're going to attract more of. So keeping yourself in those higher emotions in the higher part of the scale is going to feel good. Going in the bottom part of the scale, like anger and impatience and frustration and all these things, those are the lower parts. They don't feel good, right? So you want to hang out and do what you can to stay up in the higher part of the vibrational scale as much as possible. Okay. And there's exercises and stuff that you can do to get you there. Don't let your day start off negative. Okay. That's the main thing. Don't start off in that negative tone. A lot of people like to watch the news, but how do you feel? Have you ever really paid attention to how you feel after watching the news? Sometimes I like to watch it too. I'm like, I want to know what's going on, but most of that stuff is based on fear, right? So I'll watch it and then get all grumpy or scroll through mindlessly on social media for half an hour. If I start my day out that way, it's not going to turn out, I'm not going to feel good starting out. So it's rare that you encounter a piece of news or social media. I mean, news on social media, I should say, or news in the media. It's very fear based. It's, that's how they sell their ratings or whatever. That's how they keep their ratings up and selling advertisements for the news, right? So most of them are just designed to trigger your emotions to get you angry or scared. So just don't let the media set up your day for you. Just take control right there by consciously having a daily morning routine that works great for your specific circumstances. It's going to be different for everybody. And this will vary, right? Depending on the tasks you have in the morning, especially if you've got kids that you have to prep for school. So just be deliberate about the energy that you bring to your work. Instead of being reactive to every little thing that comes your way, be intentional by setting up your day with the proper foundation so that you can be successful by sundown. Does that make sense? Everybody kind of following me here? Because every single day is a reset. I look at it as a reset. Not even every single day. I look at every single second as a reset. Every single minute is a reset. It might not be going very well, but you can be intentional about it. You can notice something happening and then do something to hopefully shift out of it as quickly as possible if it's not feeling good. But I look at every single day as an opportunity to redeclare and be reminded of what I want to accomplish. So you could do that too. So never mind that you failed, 3 times yesterday or the past week. Come into today, come into the next day with a sense of gratitude that you can start over and move forward towards your purpose, whatever that may be. And also, if you want to move towards your purpose, you got to be clear on that first, right? If you're not clear on what your purpose is, what that destination is, it's kind of like using a GPS. What's the first thing you have to do when you go to use a GPS? You got to put the address in, right? You got to put that destination in. Otherwise, what happens? You go around in circles or you just sit there. So making sure that that's why we do the visualization exercise first thing in the morning, is getting clear on what's that destination, what's that thing. So then things pop up, you notice that that's going to get you closer to that purpose, to that goal. Make sense? So again, start your day with gratitude for the things that you have now. So wake up, what I do, I'll wake up in the morning. My alarm is actually set to positive affirmations. It's like, I am healthy, I am wealthy, whatever, I am amazing. It's like just, programming my brain with something good, right? That's what I choose. I choose to program it with those kind of messages. And then I look around the room, right? And practice those. I'm looking like, oh, I love that plant. I love that mirror. Oh, I'm so thankful I have that jewelry box, like whatever it is, right? I look around my room and I just appreciate the things that I really do like having, right? And it just allows you to focus on what you have already instead of dwelling on the failures and the regrets and the could haves. And then proceed to being grateful for the things that I don't have already. Being grateful for the things that you don't have, you can just, thank you for my car that I really want. And you can be very specific about what type of car it is. And if you're not very specific, go look at what you want. Get really specific. Again, that's the destination. You got to visualize it. You got to feel it. You just say, thank you for that. Thank you for my $1 million in the bank or whatever that amount is for you. Thank you for the 15 high ticket clients I got this month, et cetera, right? Like whatever it is for you, whatever you're wanting, be thankful for it already. And then just visualize them and feel, that's the key, feeling what it's like to actually be enjoying those blessings as though they've already been happening, as though they've already happened. It's like, thank you for these things. Wow, it feels so great to get in that car. You might even want to go test drive it. So you have that reference to help with the visualization. You'll know what it smells like. You know what it feels like in your hands. You can go back to that moment and relive that moment of test driving that car. So then it just helps get even clearer on the visualization of what is coming, what you're creating, and you don't even necessarily need to create it. And maybe I'll go into that in a little bit, but not treating those things as something that is in the distant future, but rather as if they're already here, they're already there, right? They're already in your life. So what happens when you do this is then your subconscious gets to work, it gets going, right? To resolve the gap between what you just visualized and your reality right now. Your mind doesn't know what's the truth. So you can really create these visualizations as though they are real. Your mind just goes, well, wait a minute. I just saw my dream car and I just felt it and I just smelled it and I was driving it and it's not here yet. So let's do everything necessary to make it a reality. And I'm just using that as an example. It could be anything you want. So anything you work in that gratitude exercise, you can definitely bring it into your life. So let me give you a real example for me. So my phone, I'm going to show you my phone. Let's see, can you see it? So I've got my vision board, okay, that I just put on my phone. And it's like, it says, thank you for my 50,000 a month. Okay. I did this, I don't know, years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I guess. And I have a Tesla on there. I have the Equinox gym in San Diego. I made this before I moved to San Diego. Okay. Moved back to San Diego. I was living in Canada. We've got, Hawaii, a bunch of stuff, right? So the Equinox one, I'm gonna use as the example because it happened. It came true, right? I was working towards getting it for myself. I wasn't sure how I was going to get it for myself. I was still living in Canada. I wasn't even in San Diego yet, but I knew I had worked out at Equinox with a friend like 15 years ago. And I was like, I really like that gym. That's an amazing gym. So I had that experience that I could call on to really visualize myself in there working out. When I came to visit San Diego, I drove by, I went in and took a tour so I could really get that visualization and looked at it online and everything. So I could picture myself, feel myself in there. Okay. Because that would have been a luxury that I wanted on top of, there's certain things that I want ahead of time. It came to fruition by my credit card offering it as a bonus. Okay. It's like, I pay that annual fee. And they were like, oh, guess what? Within that annual fee, you get to have a free membership, not free because I pay for it in the in the fee of the credit card, but that's for the credit card. They offered it as a, what do you call it? Incentive, or I'm not sure what the name of it is, but you know what I'm talking about. Like you get perks, I guess, right? Perks for the credit card. So now, I mean, for the last, I don't know, few years, I've been a member since I moved here, right? Since I moved to San Diego, I rolled right in and I have my gym membership. So I couldn't have planned that. I didn't know that that was going to happen, but I was very clear on that destination. I was really clear on that was something that I wanted, and it came quicker than I thought because I thought I was going to have to pay for it with my income, and it ended up being a perk. So anyway, that's just a little example, and I could give you tons of those examples that have happened for myself. Okay, where I've been working towards something, but they came even quicker than I thought it would before I could even pay for it. It's a fact. I can't even say like, I mean, it just happens. It's not even something I believe, it's something I know. After going through that powerful morning routine, let's go back to the routine. So you now take that with you, right? And operate all day from that new reality. What happens? If you keep operating from the space that you've always operated from, what kind of results are you going to get? The same results, right? But if you're operating from this new reality, this new identity, this new realm of possibility, you're going to start making decisions about your day that are going to align with that. Does that make sense? You're going to be working towards those goals from that space in the future. So don't go about your day making decisions that will contradict what you visualized, right? So, for example, if you just visualize that $1 million in your bank, but as you go through your day, you realize, you got that reality sinking in, totally normal, that your savings is dwindling because you're not clear on how to get those clients paying you those high prices, right? You don't have the automated systems for people to find you, call you, and pay you. So your savings is dwindling because you haven't figured that out yet, right? That reality could sink in, and then you could get some anxiety, and then you could get like fearful. That doesn't feel good, right? Like it's like kind of a panicky feeling. So again, that would be low on that vibrational scale, and you don't want to operate from there. You want to stick with your visualization, stick with that, right? Because otherwise then you're wobbling and you're going back and forth and it will take a longer time. And sometimes I like to explain it like a stream. Like you can go downstream or you can go upstream. Going downstream is a lot easier. So it's like dipping that toe in the water and then getting carried along with that stream. It feels good, right? You're going down that stream towards your destination. Or you can add some wobble in there. I call it wobble, where you're just like, it's the contradiction of like, but I don't have it yet. I want to get it now. I don't have it now, but I don't have it. Get that frustration in there. Then that's like going upstream. It's much harder. Do your best to start your days off with this routine so that you can be in that gratitude, be in that abundance, be in that, coming from that future place. Okay. Does that make sense? So then you've got a choice, right? You can operate from that place of scarcity or from that new reality that you envision for yourself. So if you make the wise choice, you'll act boldly and bravely. And to some, that might seem like a little crazy, but that's the only way to blaze the trail to that success. Okay. So what I'm telling you here is not a new concept either. It's been around forever. It's a universal truth that that if you live in gratitude, you'll have a happier and more fulfilled life. And that's the ultimate goal anyway. So why not just live it now instead of like, oh, if I get this, I'll have that. If I get this, I'll be happy. It's like, no, just be happy now, have that gratitude now. Trust that it's coming. You know it's coming. You're doing everything you can. It's getting better and better, right? Because what people usually miss is having an emotional experience, which is what we're talking about today, right? As you go through your gratitude list, it's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But they don't sit down, they don't feel it. And the feeling is the key. You don't just say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm thankful for this house. And yeah, I'm thankful for my family. Great. But it's a different thing altogether to be saying, oh my, like amazing. I'm just so grateful to be warm in my living room in this house and not have to worry about how cold the weather is outside. I'm glad I've got a roof over my head because I'm not getting soaking wet in the rain outside. I'm equally thankful that my family gets to stay together as well and be, kept safe while we enjoy our family dinners together or good conversation or whatever it is for you, right? Like just feeling that gratitude for whatever is making you happy in that moment. So making a list can be very cognitive, but then as you go into the specifics of what you love or appreciate about your blessings, then it becomes an emotional experience. And also, when we begin to be grateful for the things that are yet to come, then we move away from that fear of having to own up to those goals. Okay. So you start to exceed your current capabilities because you envision yourself as already having achieved those dreams. And then you just start working towards them. Okay. So things start appearing in your life. It's very easy. It doesn't have to be hard, right? Things just start appearing in your life that will help you get closer to those goals because you recognize them, right? You recognize them right away when they pop up because you've done the work and you're doing the work and you're clear on what it is. And so then you just choose to take that action on those things instead of, if you're not in that higher vibration and being in gratitude, then getting frustrated and everything, then you're going to start taking actions on the things that show up for you from that standpoint. Does that make sense? So you break that pattern of fear and dread for the unknown, and you get into this pattern of fulfillment. It's much more fun than the other way, focusing on all that negativity. To summarize, the real game changer is going through your morning routines, whatever they may include, but always from a grateful stance. You might have had some goals for years now, but the key to actually bringing them into your life is to be grateful for them in advance and do so with that stimulated emotion and that feeling, because that has tremendous power to move you forward and propel you into action. So a morning routine, it just conditions your mind to the dreams in your heart so that you can always go back to them, especially, the short-term realities that are not in agreement or not in alignment with what you envision. Make sense? So I think that's it for today. Hopefully you guys followed me on that, and hopefully you can add that gratitude and the feeling into your morning routine. I recommend, make a list of all the things that make you feel good, or make a list of, again, do that visualization. And then what is it that you need to do on a daily basis that are going to help you get there? Okay. So for example, if you want to be, healthy, right? Or if you want to have the toned body, like what are the things that you need to do, right? Do you need to start out with like for me, like I'm like, okay, I'm going to start off with the lemon water. That's going to cleanse my thing. It's going to fill me up without any calories really. And then I do my green drink. That's going to give me energy because I want to have a lot of energy, and that's going to give me the energy to be able to work out. And, and then it's just putting them in your calendar, putting them in your routine so that it becomes a habit. So you start with these healthy habits that are going to move you towards your goal this way, instead of the things that you always fall back on, the familiar things that are easy and whatever, right? That you just kind of mindless things, right? This is just being very mindful and intentional around what you want to create. And if you can start doing these morning routines, design them so that you can reach your goals that much quicker. That's what it's all about. That's where the six-figure, what do we call this again? The six-figure morning routine, right? The six-figure plus morning routine that gets results in record time. So that's about it. That's it for today. So if you have any questions or you want to know more about how I can help you work through the different mindset hurdles, okay, that show up when you're an entrepreneur, because you need grit, you need tenacity. There's a lot that comes at you as an entrepreneur. I always say the only guarantee about being an entrepreneur is that you're going to have challenges, okay? And having that support, having that mentor, that community around you that can really lift you up during those times, or that can get you a quick answer to just move you again towards your goals or whatever, right? When you get stuck or when you're feeling like things just aren't moving forward or you need that second opinion or whatever it is, type the word mindset in the comments here, and I or someone from my team will get back to you with a DM. So I am here every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. You can find me in the Business Growth Blueprint for high ticket clients on Facebook. You can join that group. I've got lots of really amazing, valuable information in there. I'm also on Living Life Powerfully with Heather Blaze. That's my business page on Facebook, and on YouTube, Heather Blaze. All right, guys, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Thursday. Take care.